Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Unavoidable, Adventures in Aging, where Sue and Shan, two Midwest, well-past middle-aged sisters, discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of aging. With a little humor, a little heart, and occasionally a little frustration, we'll explore the unavoidable adventures we experience as we move into our golden years. Yeah, golden years, my ass. Just a note to our listeners, this podcast reflects the opinions and experiences of Sue and Shan. The main purpose of this podcast is intended to entertain.
I'm happy you guys are doing this. This is our first experience with a duo.
You probably aren't aware that I was part of Airtime 69 on KFAB radio when I was a junior in high school. Little did I know that these skills would be used.
And that was before you were a go-go dancer somewhere.
That was before, that's right.
Aaron or Sean, I got nervous before we had guests.
Oh, sure.
Because we just do our thing and it just kind of happens, and then you don't want to leave people out. You don't, anyway. So
the good thing is you reminded me that you do edit it.
Yes,
there's a long pause or
we do
or
edit,
sneeze.
and we are going. Take it away, Sue.
All right. We are very excited today. We have, this is the first time we've had two guests in the studio.
It is.
And today we have our good friends, Chaz
I want
and
to see
Ellen.
if she can even remember it.
Yeah,
I did. Oh, and you know how I don't know if they still do it, how they make those couples names? The two of you, your couple name is Chellin. Chellin.
Chillin'.
I like it.
Chaz and Ellen.
Chellin.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Work?
That sounds
So
good.
I think I taught just one of your kids, I think. I taught Jessica, and that's been a while ago. Jessica is grown and has how many kids of her own now?
She has 4 girls.
4 girls. Okay. And how long have you known the lyrics?
Real well. But I suppose because I had Jessica kind of. She
Oh, in
wasn't
high
really
school.
assigned to me, but she just came to me all the time.
Oh, yeah. She just liked to hang
that's
out.
probably when we
That's
got
probably-
close. And
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
Tim has known Chaz for a long time. And I
Yes.
mean, we've known each other for a long time. But as far as being real close and stuff, it was the 4,600-mile road trip that we took
That's
together.
right.
Yeah.
And we're still talking.
We are still talking.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was great.
That's a plus
Yeah, it
right
is
there.
yes.
When you take really good friends and throw them together like that,
Yep.
For
if
2
they
weeks.
still maintain it,
Yes.
you did good.
That's one of the gifts of retirement is
Yes.
that you can get better acquainted with the people that you've known.
Yes.
But you've both been so busy in your own work
Yeah.
lives that, yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got time.
That's
we
a
have
great
time.
segue, wasn't it?
I thought that too.
It was
It
perfect.
worked right
And I
into
love
it,
that
didn't it?
word, segue. Good segue. Yeah. But anyway, we've asked Chaz and Ellen here. We've been talking about retirement and what do I do now, and there are so many options. And we thought of Chaz and Ellen Chellin right away because they've both made the most of their retirement.
Yes.
And Ellen with her faith life, and although you were kind of into that before.
I was, but
Yeah.
there's definitely more time, and
Yes.
I'm able to do different things that I wasn't able to do while I was working full time.
Right? And then Chaz, so artistic.
Oh, well,
And-
thank you.
And so I'll start with the question you and I were asking the
Okay.
other night. Is your artistic interest something that you've always had, or did it mostly develop after you were retired?
No, it's been. In fact, I was thinking about that today. I had a 4th grade teacher by the name of Miss Holmgreen, who is
Here
now
in town, in
Yeah.
Alliance?
Mrs. Simpson.
Phyllis Simpson.
Oh my golly.
And and I don't know why I remember that, but we had art in 4th grade. And so that's why I sort of developed, but I didn't take any art in junior high or high school because I was college bound, so you had to do all this.
You didn't get to do the fun stuff.
No, but I've always been into sketching, pen and ink.
Uh-huh.
But when we moved back, I was so busy. Pen and ink or any art takes time. So that's when I got into photography because photography is quick.
Oh, okay.
You aim your camera, take a picture, and it's done.
Yeah.
So that was for the next 40 years. And then after we retired, I got back into watercolors and acrylics and pastels, and so that's how I've gotten into that type of art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of yours, you've been displayed at the Carnegie Art Center for both?
Yes, I had a private show with my photography.
Uh-huh.
5 years ago, something like that. And then I have done some artwork that I have submitted to Carnegie.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I've been in both, as far as both medias, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah.
And what impresses me is he's developed it. He audited a class at our local junior college and community college, and then he also watches YouTube videos of how to draw things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're constantly developing it.
Yeah. In fact, right now I'm taking a, I guess, online course, but it is by your own speed. It's a gentleman, actually he's out of London, England. So he has that little British accent.
Oh, yeah.
So he's gone through everything, but you work at your own speed.
Okay.
So he instructs you through it, but then you can back it up or you can go to it. So it's sketching, it's watercolors, it's all different kinds of stuff. So
All of those.
it's been
Okay,
fun.
so do you pay for that?
Yes,
That service? Okay.
that one I did.
Yeah. How
And
interesting. There isn't anything you can't do online.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
you're
for
gonna
sure.
find just about anything.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
even I finally, you heard about my
Painting rocks.
painting rock.
rocks.
Here's my first one.
Oh, you're good at it.
I like
Well,
that.
Yeah.
That was the first one. I've made some mistakes. And then Tim shared this one with me.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It's
a picture of an owl.
Owl.
Which
Did
Ellen
he
came,
do that?
No,
Chaz
Chaz
did.
did.
Oh, Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz did
Oh.
it for Tim. And so he shared that one with
Well,
me.
you've
And
never given me a painted rock.
Okay, I'm gone. I'm out of here.
okay,
I'm gone.
all right. Now this is taking a whole new turn.
Boy, we started that argument for later.
Thanks a lot, Sue.
Yeah, don't mention it. I think it's funny that when Ellen came in, she has a book with her, and she said, I brought visuals. And then and I thought, yeah, the rocks are kind of visuals too. You can't see these, but they are amazing,
Yes.
these rocks.
Yeah.
Yes. Back on the art.
Yes.
We talked about, was it the 4, things that we were, socialization,
Okay.
and it covers that. Have you done any like in-person classes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you're meeting new people who have the same interests.
Right. In fact, it was really strange because Corinne Conley Gibson, this has been 5-6 years ago, she said, I hear there's a course at WNCC.
Oh.
And it's taught by this Yelena, who is a Russian artist that teaches over
Yes.
there. And she said, well, I think it's, and I was thinking like a one-time deal. So I signed up, and I was coming home someplace, and I get a phone call from Yelena, and she says, do you know this is a college course? Do you know this is a semester?
Oh.
And she said, have you ever taken any instructions? And I said, no, because she said, we really want a prerequisite going into this thing. But she said, you're a senior citizen. It'll cost you $15.
Oh, yeah. One of the other perks of
Oh.
getting older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
right.
Wow.
I said, okay. So it was like Tuesday night from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So, and it was what they call gestural drawing.
Gesture.
Gestural, Gestural, which
Okay.
means gestures.
Oh.
We had a live model.
Oh.
And so there were like 5 of us. And I walked into the class. I have never drawn a person in my life.
Oh. Yeah.
So here's this Russian teacher telling me to draw this person. And so they do 30-second, 1 minute, and 5-minute sketches.
Uh-huh.
So you have to be really quick on the first one. So I, did it. And she came over and looked at mine, and she says, looks like a snowman. and it did. Because I had these big circles and going this way. And I did last semester on that. And Yelena and I have become good friends afterwards.
Yeah.
So whenever I have a problem, I'll go to either Corinne or Yelena. So,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I have done a course, but it was a little strange.
Uh-huh.
the
So
first
did you
time.
get graded for that course?
No. In
Oh,
fact,
good.
I didn't even go to the final session.
Oh.
Because, yeah.
Oh.
You
Well, it
didn't want your critiques
No,
done.
that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That answers a lot because I took a class, both Chaz and I did, down at the Carnegie
That's right.
just recently. I was so intimidated, so intimidated, because that was the first time I'd ever done that. And so, and then you weren't there the next week. And I
No.
think I went that week, and then I never went back.
That's right. And I went the next week, and you weren't there.
I wasn't there.
That's right.
So I got to get more into it and
Yeah.
be more prepared for it. Because you told me, after we talked about it later, that a lot of times you take it all home and stop and think about it and let your head wrap
Yeah.
around all of it, because otherwise the instruction was it's just so much. It was just,
Yeah. Well,
Too
when
much
you have a
for me.
time limit to do something, and I can't do something
yeah.
in a quick point as far as art is concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes me a while. So.
Exactly.
Did you have your own when you were, and you're still doing photography?
Yes.
But did you have your own dark
no.
room? It's all done on.
I started
Digital?
off with film,
Okay.
but I always sent it in. We own the pharmacy, so
oh, sure.
I paid nothing for my
Yeah.
my pictures. Yeah. Dad paid for most of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did that, and then digital came along, and I fought digital for years because I
Oh.
thought this is stupid. You're not going to get the same quality as what you do with film, which now it has changed a whole bunch. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
So I started off with film, but I never did the processing of it. So
When we went on our trip, part of our big thing was to see the cherry blossoms, and we had it all set for Philadelphia. And of course, we're trying to get to this festival. Chaz is driving, and the people are crazy, and it is bumper to bumper, and there is no parking, and people
Was
are
that in DC?
One lane,
no
Philadelphia.
in Philadelphia.
Oh, in you just said that.
Oh,
didn't
and
you? I
people were
wasn't
yelling
listening.
at each other and getting out of their
Fight-
cars and
fighting
yelling.
over
And,
parking places.
and Chaz turned around and he goes, "We're not going to the festival." So we took off, and we thought we can find cherry blossoms someplace. And so sure enough, we pulled into a parking lot, and there's this gorgeous whole
Oh.
row on both
Yeah.
sides of this big sidewalk. And you got out,
Yeah.
and the other three of us, we stayed inside and just sat there and chit-chatted while he went and got
Yeah.
pictures.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
it worked.
yes, it did. Yeah.
We didn't have to go to a
And
festival.
now, where we live, that we have an unobstructed view to the east.
Yes.
And so every morning the sunrise is so
Oh,
unique. And so
yeah.
Chaz will take a picture, and he's become quite philosophical as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
wait.
narrative that goes with your those are.
I have no
really-
idea where that came from. I
Oh.
think influence from my good wife.
Yes,
Yeah,
probably so.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is the turkey still around?
No,
Oh,
we
darn.
lost a turkey.
He only stayed about 3 weeks, so we weren't very
Well-
hospitable, I guess.
Well, if they liked it though, they'll be back next
Well,
year.
he kept
They'll
leaving
tell their
little
friends.
packages on the porch,
Yeah.
so he wasn't a real good visitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
yeah.
happy to see him go.
That's
And
right.
Thanksgiving wasn't during this time, right?
No,
No.
Oh, okay, there we go.
He was very brave. He'd hop right up to the front door.
Yeah.
Sit on the porch.
Let's delve into Ellen's.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
you do so much
Oh.
with your faith, not just in your own church. When you go down to,
Schuyler, Nebraska has a Benedictine
one.
retreat center called St. Benedict Center, and I found it 21 years ago when I was working for the church as a pastoral minister. I've had several careers. Chaz accuses me of not being able to keep
hold
a
a
job
job.
because I've had about 5 different careers in my life. But
that's kind of a common thing. I just want to say, kids or younger people don't stay with one company.
I was just ahead of my time.
You were.
That's right.
Exactly right.
You're a trailblazer.
That's right.
So the last job was pastoral ministry, and the nun who had the job before me had an annual retreat in her contract, and I thought, well, if Sister Bernard needed an annual retreat,
Oh,
I certainly am
I
going
remember
to.
Sister Bernard.
So I was looking, and I finally, about the 3rd year, found St. Benedict Center, and they had a silent, guided, directed retreat for a week, and that's what was in the contract. I could do a week retreat, and it was only 6.5 hours east of us, so I went and.
Well, explain what it is.
A silent guided directed retreat. So you
Yes.
go to the retreat center, and it's a lovely retreat center.
Yeah,
it's a
it's
private
nice.
room.
Decent.
It's wonderful food, beautiful grounds. It's 3 miles out of the outside of town, very pastoral and peaceful. But Sunday you are assigned a spiritual director, and that's the only person you talk to 1 hour a day for 7 days.
Wow.
No way.
And I am an extrovert.
Yes.
And my family, they were taking bets I couldn't do it.
Yeah, we were. Yes.
And After about the second day, I finally kind of eased into that quiet. There, the internet was very spotty.
Oh.
The phones didn't work. So it was you and nature and all of this beautiful artwork in the monastery center, and God and prayer. And so it was nature and God in nature and other people, about 20 some other people that were also being silent. And as an extrovert, I got out of my comfort zone, and it was freeing. That's a word we use a lot about in this time of life, but it was really freeing for me to not have to think about what I was going to say or feel like I had to interact with everybody for just that week.
Oh,
Sure.
interesting.
So, and I've gone from there. I discerned that I wanted to be trained as a spiritual director, where I meet one-on-one, and I do that now and have for about 5 years with about 5 individuals right now. We meet for an hour a month, and they talk to me about where they see God or don't see God in their lives, in their everyday lives. And then as a director, I'm listening deeply with them and perhaps guiding them, or I'm not really guiding them. The Spirit is speaking,
Yeah.
guiding them on their journey. It's not my journey, it's their journey with God. And I find that's very fulfilling. And it was at that director retreat that I kind of came to that, I'd like to do this. Well, now I've been called to be on the team. So for the last 5 years, it's no longer my retreat. I'm one of the spiritual directors on the retreat.
Oh my golly.
So that's how, for 21 years now, at least once a year. And people will say, you're lucky that Chaz lets you go.
Oh,
Oh.
good golly.
Oh,
What a stupid remark. I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah, but
well,
yeah.
yeah.
But that's the
Let you go.
thinking of really, kind of our generation, in our parents' generation for sure. The husband would decide what his wife could and couldn't do. And you guys have that kind of marriage that
Oh.
you don't
Both
give each other
Well,
permission.
once she comes back from those
Oh,
retreats,
wow.
it's amazing what.
Yeah.
I'm a nicer person. So it's a win-win.
Wait, yeah.
Thank you, God.
Thank you, God. Send her back next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a big, and now that part of my life, and now that I'm retired, have been retired for almost 10 years. I can't believe that. But I'm able to go back to that center, and they'll do weekend retreats that are not, they're more preached retreats. So they'll be on a book of the Bible, or they'll be on some kind of they'll just take one psalm and delve into that. And I have talk about meeting new people. You talk about the social aspect.
Yeah.
Some of my closest friends are people I only see at St.
Wow.
Benedict Center,
Wow.
but then Facebook. So sometimes
Oh, yeah.
I really related to your techno nerd episodes because it is that kind of. There's some really bad things about it, but there are some really good things, and so I've been able to stay connected and build relationships. That then, when we're at St. Benedict Center, we see each other.
Yeah.
A lot of people I admire who are also on that spiritual journey and wanting to go deeper and get closer to God, to the divine.
What got you to your first retreat there? What?
Well, I went
Her
to
car.
yeah. So what got me there was, as I said, I had gone in high school. I went to Catholic schools, so we would have what they called retreats. I went to an all-girl Catholic school, so there were about 400 of us on this
my.
retreat. So you could say it wasn't silent. It wasn't silent. So anyway,
Screech and giggles.
But that's the last I had been on any kind of a retreat. So I had that kind of in the back of my mind, and really thought that was for clergy or for
Sure.
so the sisters.
Nuns, sisters going into.
And so, but it was that in that contract. And then I went to a couple other places, and it just, they were nice, but it really wasn't, it didn't feel like home. And then I just happened to be, I don't know, I must have seen it in the church bulletin or something that they were offering this week-long summer. It was in the summer in
Yes,
July.
July.
That's the quiet time at the church. And so I thought, well, I'll try that one. And that felt like home. And
Wow.
it's located 30 minutes from where my grandparents' farm used to be.
Oh,
Wow.
So I think part of it is
Oh.
there's something about places that you were that just feel so familiar because that's where you spent time as
Yeah.
a child. or
Yeah,
something.
those memories
often-
and happy
Yeah,
times
yeah.
and
Yeah.
But there was a need in God, I would say ultimately God got me on that
down
retreat.
there.
So it was just a stirring or a little nudge that this would be good for you, Ellen. This would be good. And it has been.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
But
Right.
hopefully it'll continue to be.
Yeah, because people can't see the smile on your face as you talk
Yeah,
about this. We
yeah.
can see the smile on your face.
or on Chaz's as he talks about her coming being gone.
being gone. But it's that peace, and you can just feel that with you whenever I'm with you. There's just a peace around you that you just bring everybody into that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm a part of it. Yeah.
Oh,
Even after 4,600 miles.
It's still part of it.
But
even
it's
when I
just-
forget my purse and we have to turn around and go back an hour.
Oh no, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How far
Yeah.
did you backtrack?
From
60 miles.
from
60 miles round
Broken
trip.
Bow back to Thetford.
Oh, okay.
60 miles round trip.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And that was right when it was starting. So and they did, and Tim and Shannon didn't get mad. And I thought, oh, we picked well. Going with these-
She
Everybody
did. We stopped to get coffee. Ellen left her purse there. The thing was, bless the little gal's heart that worked there, she got in Ellen's purse to find out who it was. Well, then she got on Facebook.
Wow.
And she
Messaged
sent a
me.
message to Ellen
Ah.
to say, we have your purse back here. Unfortunately, Ellen's phone was in the purse. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Otherwise, we would have gotten it like right away because she
Oh.
thought of it right away. So there's one of those good things about Facebook because she tried to get a hold of us.
And it's a generational thing there too because she automatically thought to do that. I might not think of it for an hour and then think,
For
oh,
the
wait,
phone.
that she thought
Yeah.
because she didn't know who I was.
That's available there.
Yeah.
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 She did.
Share a little bit about your book.
Okay,
'Cause I-
so one of my spiritual heroes
She's
is,
holding it up now.
is
Yes.
Father
Oh,
Richard
yeah.
Rohr.
It's got a picture of go
and
ahead.
it's called Falling Upward, a Spirituality for the Two Halves of Life. And he wrote this, several years ago. There's been almost 400,000 copies sold. But it's one that if you ever have anybody struggling with, nostalgic for I guess that episode, I Used to Be Somebody.
Yes.
Yes.
And they're having trouble moving on. He really describes it was great in the first half of life. You're building your identity, you're setting goals, you've got your career, your family, you're active, and then when you hit the second half of life, which often comes as a result of loss or suffering or just change, transition, that if you really embrace it, there's a great freedom in it. As you were saying last week's episode, what you begin to see in your second half of life is you get less concerned about what people think of you, but you feel more connected with everyone. You feel more of a sense of like with nature, kind of a connection with nature. You see the wholeness
Oh.
of things, and you want that.
Yeah.
You want that for everyone. That
Yes.
everyone would feel that connection and that relationship with each other, whether you have a lot in common or not. It's just we're all in this human journey and that really echoes. I've been involved with Humanities Nebraska, which supports, as they say, we celebrate what connects us, and it really is the same thing. So if anybody's looking for, it's not a real long book, and Richard Rohr writes very well, and but it's called Falling Upward, the Spirituality of Two Halves of Life, and it really shows what a gift the second half of life
yes.
is.
It is.
And it's not
Exactly.
based on retirement necessarily.
Yeah.
Because it could come when you're 40, or it may not. Some people never stop that constant activity and constant work or that worrying about what others think of them. So it's not automatic. It's almost like you allow it to happen. Yeah,
And when you say that about, there isn't the competition, in my opinion. I don't have the competition anymore.
I feel that too.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's okay. I hope everybody's enjoying life. And whatnot. I went up to the high school today and about had a panic attack. So I was like, oh, I'm going home.
Oh, yeah,
I can't do this anymore.
Flashbacks.
Oh, man, there was a lot of flashbacks. But just the one that we recorded that went out today probably did as much good for me as I used to be somebody. Just because talking about being empowered by aging. Don't keep worrying about aging, that I don't look the same and that
I don't feel the same,
or
and
whatever.
yeah.
Just embrace it and just run
Yeah.
with it.
That's true.
Make the best
And
of it.
see the gifts in it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Try to
Yes.
see the gifts in it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge the things and to say, we're about to go on a Great Lakes cruise
Yeah.
Oh.
from Milwaukee to Toronto
Yeah.
and to Niagara Falls. And we were looking at this itinerary. Everything was moderate walking, moderate walking. And we're not sure until we get there what is moderate. And
Prolonged sitting. Prolonged
Yeah,
sitting.
yeah, yeah.
so as we were getting a little anxious about it, and then we finally looked at each other and said, if we want to just sit and read a book and have a few drinks on the ship, that'll be fine.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
So just allowing yourself to just take what
Yeah, and
comes.
we've talked about it, which I'm sure you too. One good thing about retirement, if you don't get it done today, you can do it tomorrow.
Yes. Uh-huh.
But don't keep putting it off. For the
Yeah.
next
Exactly.
2 weeks. And because I'm doing it right now, one of my projects on my art is a picture of a couple boots. And you sketch it first, then you pin it, and then you watercolor it. And so it's taken me like 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
Of course, this guy does it in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But I still have that little bit of competitiveness in my soul because I played basketball, a lot of sports and such. And so it's like, well, it's not exactly the same as what he's doing, so I got to do this. And I think, why? Nobody's going to look at it except me and Ellen.
Yeah.
And so why just do it like
Yeah.
you want to? And if it looks like shit, I mean, that's fine. Just you put it aside and
Just
say,
go for it.
It was fun to do, and
Yeah.
Exactly. What difference does it matter?
Yeah.
We're not
yeah,
trying to make money off of our
Yeah. Oh,
arts.
that makes me think too, because we were talking in a couple of the episodes about if you do something that's artsy or craftsy, what do you do with what
it.
you
Exactly
finish?
right.
So I'm sure you finished a lot of paintings and drawings, and what do you do with them? Do you?
I have tons of sketchbooks that are
Yeah.
sitting on
Okay.
my shelf and personally I go back and look through them
Sure.
to see
Oh, okay.
how I've progressed over the years. Photographs I have enlarged some, and we have a gallery down in the basement. We have a blank
Oh.
white wall, and
that
we
he
talked-
wanted to paint, and then all I could think of was he's going to paint, and then the ceiling's going to be, and then it was going to be this huge project.
Oh, yeah.
And then my daughter-in-law said, "Why don't you just have Dad?" She called him Dad.
Yeah.
Hang his paintings,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's really worked out
Oh.
great.
Yeah, so I have all my photography, the ones I like,
Right.
that are up, that are on the wall. We have some of my artwork and some of my photography on the wall.
Uh-huh.
And so yeah, it has worked out well.
Yeah.
Some of the fun though is that our youngest, or not our youngest grandson, but our 4-year-old grandson, really into Spider-Man. So
Oh.
Christmas, Chaz painted him a little Spider-Man, and
Yeah, and I did. And on this one lesson I'm taking, it was a shark. I had to
Uh-huh.
sketch a shark and paint it. And so I just I sent it to all the kids and everything. And Asher, and loved it. Just
I
loved
sent
it.
a picture of it.
So I tore it out of the book and we sent it to him for his birthday and signed.
cool.
See,
sent
those
it
are,
back.
and it makes built-in birthday gifts,
Oh.
Christmas gifts,
Yeah.
go.
anniversary gifts. Yeah.
Something they'll really
Well, in fact,
appreciate.
yeah, a lot of my art is just giveaway. I've done
Well, like the
Foundations,
school
foundations,
foundations.
and also to Jared's mom. I did a bear. Jessica has a moose that I did.
Uh-huh.
I painted something with Kyle sitting on the beach with the 2 dogs behind it. And did
Oh.
that and just sent it to him. So that makes me feel good. If
Yes.
somebody wants my art. I don't want paid for it. Just
Right.
here.
Right.
Or
Here,
don't
take it.
charge for it.
I
Yeah.
don't charge for it. Yeah.
You don't pay people to take it.
I have in the past.
I was going to say, I think Tim has 2
I think
photographies upstairs of
yes,
yours.
it does.
Yeah. I think you paid big bucks. No, I don't.
Well, and he's got a painted rock.
And he has a
And
rock.
a rock.
Tim gets everything.
Yeah.
Jeez, what's up with that? Now you need to
better be.
do a rock for Ellen and a rock for me. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's right. It's
Guess what
Sue.
you're getting for your birthday,
Yeah.
Ellen? Yeah.
Sue, you and I are going to talk after this.
Okay. Okay. Because it was when you were talking about still being kind of competitive with your art. It took me 3 weeks to do that. Because same thing. I would watch these videos, and it was like, that looks so easy.
Yeah.
You do this, this, and this. No.
No.
You don't just do this, this, and this. You have to have a special eye for it.
It's practice, Sue.
It is.
You know, when
It is.
Chaz talks about his sketchbooks, I've seen
Sure.
some of it, and he does a lot of sketches. So each time he gets a little bit better. So
Yeah.
we expect 50 rocks when I get back.
Okay. All right.
True.
Well,
Maine.
and the thing about rocks that we talked about, you can leave them anywhere.
That's right.
If people want them, fine. If not, throw the thing away.
And
I
that's
don't care.
kind of fun to just put them in random places,
Yes.
people to discover.
I notice them from time to time, different places. So I think that's what I'm going to do with mine.
One of my favorite spiritual symbols is the spiral, and I like it because I always think it's a symbol of going deeper, but also we go up,
lifting.
up. So in some ways you could say it was a symbol of Chaz. He does his art, and then he likes giving it away. But also I was thinking, I don't want people to think, oh yeah, now I'm in the second half of life, I don't worry what people think, because there'll be certain days where those little
Yeah,
things come,
true.
where I'm back in the first half of life.
Yeah,
you
and I
know?
think we don't obsess about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, and we all used to obsess about different things, and now, we do care, but
And we still worry, but
Yes.
the worries have sure changed. And they aren't as often and as deep.
Yeah.
My worries
Yeah.
don't seem to be.
and the whole what are
Well,
people
then
thinking
again,
of
you
me?
know.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And sometimes I think when you were saying that, Shannon, I was thinking, now I kind of worry about posterity or what's going to
Yes.
happen in the world. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
not just
that's a
my
big
own
one right
personal
now.
things. It's what kind of a world are we leaving? And so then I go back to what some of my spiritual heroes have said is don't discount your ability to show compassion, your kindness, and that has to be grounded in a robust spiritual life, I think, to be able to face what we have in the
Yeah.
world with the violence and the rancor and this kind of thing, to be able to face that and try to continue to be compassionate, continue
Yes.
to be hopeful, to continue and to
Yeah.
think,
And
well,
that's a big challenge for
Yeah,
me,
it
I
is.
know.
Yeah.
it is.
Because you talk about the spiral, that's when I start spiraling down.
Yeah. We can. That you talk about the empowerment of aging. The empowerment is to say, I'm not going to participate in this. I'm going to find unity. I'm going to, be a source for good.
Yep.
And I think maybe more of that phrase of, are you part of the problem or you're part of the
Yes.
solution?
Yeah.
I'm learning more readily how to be part of that solution.
Yes.
And it's maybe even a little bit easier right now to be part of the solution at the age that I am, because we do know of some friends that are young enough that they can't speak out as loudly because of their jobs or whatever. Yeah, I don't care. And my age now, I can speak out a little bit more without
Yeah.
having to worry near as much.
True.
And we can be an encouragement. That's the other role I think we have as
Yes.
elders. I don't know when it was that I embraced the term elder, but to encourage young people. So like our young director of the Carnegie, Corinne, or our young BBDC, our economic
Right.
development director, or all of the young
You
leaders.
do realize we were that young once, right?
Yeah, and
Right?
and
When
we
you
were.
were that
And you were
the
doing
director,
We were
I don't
in
know about
those-
you, Chaz,
Okay.
but I know Ellen was, and I was,
Yeah.
and Sue was. But I don't know about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We really were that young before. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
And I remember getting notes from some of the women in town, like Ruth Knight and Margaret Fanoff, getting a note saying, thank you for your work on behalf of the library. Or it was-
Jane Britton. Oh my gosh, you're right. I remember Erin was in the smart part of classes, and that principal did this awesome thing where the kids that were in the advanced reading group, they read a book that was also part of the book they were reading in Jane Britton's book study. And then the kids got to go up to the book study with the ladies. Of course, what they talked about, the kids all talked about, was that they got to drink tea out of a cup. That part.
I was in that book.
Were you
club.
in that one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
And Jane sent me a card that said, thanks so much. We enjoyed Aaron so much, and da-da-da. And it was like, wow. That was an awesome program that Sherry Curtis did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
was in the book club too.
And she was in that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that's how, that was a great program. But that card, you're so right, that little bit. I got a
encouragement.
thank you card the other day, and I'm not going to mention the woman, but I sent a sympathy card to her. I got a thank you card for the sympathy card.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And isn't
Yeah.
that a dying
Yeah,
art?
and Ellen is very good at that. I mean, she is the one
Yes.
that writes notes and
She does.
sends cards and such, and it's just, we were going back through some. Ellen
Oh,
was going
yes.
back through some old stuff, and
I promised him 3 years ago I'd go through these.
we're finally doing it.
There's always tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
We talked
that's
about
right.
that.
Yeah.
Got to have a project for tomorrow.
But when I don't know how old I was, but I became the outstanding young JC of the year for the state.
Wow.
And there were 3 of us, and I got a letter from Sam Cullen, who was state senator. At
He
that
was.
time.
Oh,
Yes.
I remember that name.
And
Yeah.
just a nice, congratulations, it is well deserved.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't long, it wasn't, but it was.
Yeah.
And at school, I can remember quite a few students had applied for Elk scholarships over in Scotts Bluff, and they were supposed to bring a teacher with them or whatever. And one asked me, and the rest didn't ask. And then they get there and they realize I'm there, so they kept referring to me. But anyway, the gentleman that was the speaker was the National Teacher of the Year winner. And but what he said, and I hadn't even thought about it, and he said, now remember, when you get low, when things are bad, get that file out of the thank you notes.
Oh,
And I went, oh my gosh, I have that file. I still
Yeah.
have that
Yeah.
file of students or teachers or parents that would send me a note that said, thanks so much
Yes.
because your help did this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, write a thank you note, everybody.
And
Yeah.
see, that's it. That's another thing we can do in retirement.
You're right.
Yeah.
It just
Oh,
sit down
true.
and write a simple note or a postcard.
that you're
and just
appreciated for.
send it. And,
Yeah.
and you can do it randomly too. You don't have to
You're right.
worry about whoever gets the national attention. Just write to
send one.
Joe Blow and said, thanks for being my friend. I mean,
Yeah.
you can do it
Yeah.
on Facebook,
Yes.
but still, you.
It's
if that-
not the
There's
same as
something
getting
about
that in the mail.
because we don't get mail anymore.
I
we get
know.
bills and flyers,
Yeah.
and
I
that's
I know
about
That's why
it.
it's such a thrill when there's so
I had to send a message to Sean because I sent something in the mail. He sends a
Oh,
response.
yeah.
He said, in the mail?
Yeah,
Yes,
'cause-
Sean.
Yes,
In the mail.
In the mail.
If I want Scotty to get anything, I have to send it to Shelley
Yeah.
because he doesn't check his
Check
mail.
his mailbox.
And he hasn't for a long time. So,
Yeah.
so she's the one she's my interperson to communicate with my own son.
That's true.
So
Oh.
about this time, are we ready
Uh-huh.
for takeaways?
Oh,
I think we
already?
are.
We could have 4 takeaways.
We
Oh, my
could.
goodness.
We could. And
Ooh.
Do we need to give you a little more time?
because I can start.
Okay,
Because as
go.
you were just talking about all this stuff,
Yes.
and I don't know if Ellen remembers this, but when I first started teaching at St. Agnes, and there was some kind of something going on, and I don't know what the occasion was. Lots of people there, and I was introducing myself to you, and I said, "Well, I'm Sue, and I'm just a teacher," and you said, "Don't ever think of yourself as just a teacher. What
Wow.
you do is very important and
Yes.
very much appreciated." And I have always remembered that. So
Yeah.
thank
And-
you.
and
Well,
tell her why.
I'll
Tell
tell
her
you
why.
where those words came from. When I was a freshman at Creighton, the president of Creighton was in the library with a bunch of us, and he was talking to people. This one was pre-dent, pre-law, pre-med. And I said, well, I'm just going to be a teacher. And he was German, Father Reinhardt, and his neck started the red going on.
Oh,
And he said, never say just a teacher. How do you think? He knew exactly what I was thinking. How do you think we get the lawyers, the dentists, and the
yeah.
nurses,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
if
that-
not for teachers?
good point.
So I thank you. I've forgotten of that.
Yeah,
And so
but
it's nice that it. And again, he was elder at the time he said that.
Yeah.
Well,
You
and
know,
you and
so
I are about the same age, so no, you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I'm older than you are, but it
Well,
did
and when
mean
I
a
was
lot to
going
me.
through the box, your name was on one of the notes because I think we had worked on a playground project when you were principal.
Oh, yeah,
there,
yeah.
and so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so it was something about just how happy the kids were that
Uh-huh.
they had new playground equipment
yeah.
or something.
Well, and there's another part of that. I used to be somebody. You're still somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're still somebody to
Oh, yeah.
people who remember you. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You
Okay.
two, takeaways.
Oh, good.
Did you have fun?
Doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
definitely.
geez.
Oh,
Definitely.
okay, go ahead.
Definitely.
Takeaways.
Oh,
Can we
enjoy
do it again next week?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, no,
Yeah.
because I'm gone,
Oh, shoot.
and then the following week you're gone.
Oh, that's
So
right.
sorry, it's going to be 3 weeks
It'll
from
have
now.
to be some later.
okay.
I bet we can come
Yeah.
up with lots more things to talk
I
Absolutely.
about.
think the takeaway is that I think don't take these years for granted, and that it's okay to sit and have your coffee till 9 o'clock and not feel like, oh, I'm wasting time. But this is a time for us to just soak in and just find our connections with nature and with people and with God. And it's just, this is a time of great giftedness. It's challenging, and we don't want to deny that it's not challenging, but just to find joy in these times.
Mhm.
And it can be very fruitful.
Yeah. Well, myself, I think I look back when I was youth and seeing my dad work all the time and see mom work, and I thought, retirement, that's I'll never get to that age.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
Seems so
right.
far away.
Yeah.
Forever.
And then you get to that point, and I have really enjoyed this part of my life just because of things that I can do. I can go play golf when I want to. I can do art when I want to.
Time for friends.
Time with friends. We can take trips. We can jump in a car, and we can drive to California for 2 weeks.
Or 80 miles away to a bakery
Yeah. Last Saturday
Oh, is that the
another
one
story.
in
Torrington?
We got up
Yeah.
Saturday morning, and I said, "What do you want to do?"
We
And
didn't
said,
have
"I
much
don't know."
going on for Labor Day weekend.
She said, "Well, let's go up to the Bread Doctor, which is in
Yeah.
Torrington." And I said, "Well, that's a good idea because they, the stuff we can always find out what they're having that day." And so then I got thinking, there's a place in Mitchell which we went to called
The Paradigm Concepts.
Concept,
Oh.
which is a
restaurant.
farm to table restaurant.
Oh.
Didn't you go with us?
No, you didn't invite me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Must have been Tim and I. Anyway,
Probably.
so we looked that up and they were open. So we came back and stopped there. And it was just a day of enjoyment that we could do.
And you didn't have to plan for it.
No.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't have to take time off work, and you
Right.
didn't have to find babysitters, and
Yeah.
you didn't.
Yeah. And I enjoy this part of life because that's what we're in. So we have to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of my classmates pass away this year. I've seen some of my better friends that have diseases and contending with that. And I think I'm healthy. Ellen and I both enjoy each other for the most part.
Especially if she keeps going on those retreats.
Yeah.
That's what saves the marriage.
That's right.
And so I'm just enjoying this part of
Yeah.
life.
My takeaway, and we didn't even get to go this way because I wrote myself a little note. You two are a lot like Tim and I in the fact that I think that probably part of what makes our marriage strong is we both have our own interests
Definitely.
that are all our own.
True.
And each of us are okay with it.
Right.
Go off your own way and do whatever, and both encourage each other
Yeah.
in those endeavors. And I see that with you two a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the same with Tim and I. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my
Yeah.
takeaway.
I see
Well,
that too.
and you guys said it at the end of the podcast before. I'm just so impressed with you, both of you, learning how to podcast because one of my pleasures is like if I'm out in the garden or if I'm doing housework or just cooking or whatever, I put on a podcast.
Oh.
So I've always loved learning, and I think that's what I love about podcasts is
Yeah.
it's another avenue to
yeah.
learn something.
Learn new things.
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
things.
I did have a friend tell me that she it's just the right length for cleaning her bathroom, listening to us. So I'm not sure how I take it, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, they're not always exactly the same amount of time. So some days it takes her 45
That's
minutes
a
to
deep
clean the
cleaning.
bathroom.
Yeah,
okay.
deep cleaning.
That's
Other
right.
times it's 30, 35.
It
so
takes
yeah.
less. Absolutely.
Yes, but we appreciate you
Yes,
coming.
thank you so much
It's been
for
fun.
coming
It's
in.
been fun.
Appreciate
We love it.
having you
Yes.
because they were also two of our earliest fans
We were.
Absolutely.
that
We were.
that started passing the word
I
to other
did.
people and
Clear to Omaha.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
yeah.
And they were the ones who inspired the Lifelong Friends episodes.
We did 2 of those
Yeah.
episodes. That one
Yeah.
was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
Well, invite us back.
Yes, please do.
yes,
We will.
Okay.
We will.
We will.
Right.
See, it wasn't as scary as you thought it was going to be.
Oh,
huh?
I wasn't scared.
He wasn't. I was the one going, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Oh no!
She said, you're going to do all the talking.
Yeah.
We'll do all the talking.
We do that though every time Sue and I get together, and we run that timer. And at about 12 minutes, I'll find you looking at it, and I look in, and it's like, what in the world are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
And then the next thing we know, we're at 45 minutes or
Yeah.
so, and it's where did the time go?
Yes.
So everyone, thanks again, you two.
Oh,
Yes,
Yes.
thank you
Everyone,
so much.
Our
when you're
pleasure.
listening to us, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share. We upload to Podbean, but you can find us at any of the podcast apps. Type in Unavoidable Adventures in Aging. And also, if you want to get a hold of us, send us a message at unavoidableaging@gmail.com. We're going to we forgot to tell them that they have to do
Yeah,
this
you
last
have to
part.
say this with us because you've listened enough. You
Yeah.
know how
You
it
know
goes.
what we're saying? Do we need to write
Yeah.
it down for you?
You better write it down.
I'll say the first part and then you can remember. Okay.
That part.
You know it.
And
you
we,
know
and we
it.
point anyway. She always points at me, so I know when it's time for me to talk.
Or
Go
I
for it.
Raise
And
my
what if-
eyes.
Or yeah.
What? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So not
I'm
yet.
sure you can
Not
do
yet.
it.
We'll point at you.
Will you point at me?
Yeah.
Can I
He
sort
can
of
do this.
can I
Yes.
mouth it?
Yeah. All
Yeah, you
right.
can if you want.
So please, please, please always enjoy your life. Laugh at yourself and remember
You're not knocking
butts.
You're just aging.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful things for dinner tonight, Sean.
Yes. Sean? Oh, yeah, Sean's
talking
always
to
saying,
Sean.
yeah. Sean
Yeah.
said, don't ever quit telling us what you're having for dinner.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We're having hors d'oeuvres, jalapeno poppers on the grill,
Ooh.
and bruschetta
Okay.
with tomatoes out of our garden. And then we're having hamburgers
Yep.
for supper.
Okay.
There you go. And
Very
hopefully
good.
some volleyball.
Yes.
We're not playing it. We're watching it.
Right. Yeah. we
Go,
can't-
go,
we can't do that anymore.
Jaskers.
yeah.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you guys.
Bye.
Thank
Age
you.
well.